You've probably searched how to erase your record a dozen times and still can't get a straight answer. You click on a video and suddenly you're neck deep in legal jargon, outdated advice, or 15-minute story you didn't ask for. And in the meantime, that record's still showing up on background checks, hurting your job applications, housing, even school admissions. I'm John Cannon, criminal defense attorney here in Oklahoma, and this video walks you through the fastest, most reliable way to get your record expunged, step by step, so you can finally move forward without your past holding you back. Who qualifies for expungement in Oklahoma? Let's get straight to what you really want to know. Who can actually use an expungement to erase their Oklahoma criminal record quickly and for good? Not everyone is eligible, but a lot more people qualify than you might think. If you've ever worried that a mistake you made years ago is going to haunt your life, pay close attention here. So here's the deal. If you were arrested but never charged, found not guilty at trial, or your charges were dismissed, you may qualify. For example, let's say you were charged with simple possession of marijuana a few years back, but the case was dismissed. Those records are still out there for employers, landlords, and even dates to find. Expungement gives you a legal way to make that information disappear. Now, there are timeframes and waiting periods, and sometimes you need to pay filing fees before you qualify. But the point is, expungement is real, and it works faster than most people realize when you know the process. Here's a quick story. I had a client, let's call him Mark, who was arrested on a bogus charge while in college. Even though the DA's office dropped the case, the arrest still popped up every time he applied for a job. We filed for expungement, and after the waiting period, Mark's record was erased. He had landed a job he'd been chasing for years, and that's the power of expungement in Oklahoma. Why expungement is the quickest way to erase your criminal record? You might be asking yourself, why not just wait for the record to fall off by itself? Here's the ugly truth. Criminal records in Oklahoma never automatically disappear. They stick around, sometimes forever, unless you take specific legal action to erase them. That's where expungement comes in. The reason expungement is so quick is that it's a direct legal process. Once you file the right paperwork correctly, notify the right parties and set a hearing date, sometimes in as little as 30 to 60 days, you can get an expungement. If there are no objections from law enforcement or the DA, and usually there aren't if you qualify, the judge can sign off the expungement right then and there and start the process. Contrast that with trying to file for a pardon, which almost never works, which requires you to jump through endless hoops, submit to background checks, and sit through interviews, all while hoping the governor's office decides in your favor. One more thing. When your expungement is granted, it's not just a piece of paper that says you're forgiven. The records are actually removed from public view forever, meaning that no one can access them except law enforcement. Employers, landlords, and most private background companies cannot find them. You can legally say, "I've not been arrested or charged," with very few exceptions. That is almost a clean slate under Oklahoma law. Now, let's walk through the actual process. It's faster than a lot of people think, but there are still some steps involved. I'm going to lay it all out, no skip details. Step 1, gather your court records or have your attorney do it for you. You'll need your case number, details about your arrest or charge, and the outcome. This is the stuff that's sitting on file at the courthouse or on OSCN's website, also at OSBI, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations. If you're missing anything, a good criminal defense attorney can help you track it down. Step 2, file a petition for expungement with the court in the county where the arrest or the charge happened. This is where having a lawyer can really speed things up for you. Oklahoma law has strict rules about what needs to be included. Miss a detail, and you'll be back at square one. Step 3, set a court date. Once your petition is filed, the court will schedule a hearing for you. Here's a tip. You don't always have to go to your court yourself. Sometimes your lawyer can appear for you, especially if nobody is opposing your request for the expungement. Step 4, notify everyone who has a copy of your record. That usually means the district attorney, the arresting police agency, OSBI, potentially the FBI, and other federal agencies or victims if there are any involved. They all get a chance to object, but as long as you qualify and the paperwork is right, they usually don't put up a fight against your request. Step 5, attend the hearing if needed. The judge will review your petition, listen to any objections, and if everything is in order, sign the expungement order right then and there. Once your expungement order is signed, you take it to the court clerk and get certified copies sent to every agency that has your records, ordering them to seal it. Step 6, confirm your record is gone from public view. This is the most satisfying part. About a month after the judge signs, run your own background check. If everything went right, your record is gone from public view. It's like the whole thing never happened. This is supposed to be the quick way to erase your record, but some folks end up hitting major speed bumps because they make avoidable mistakes. Let's talk about the most common ones and how to avoid them. Mistake number one, not checking your eligibility. If you don't meet the requirements for expungement, you're wasting your time and money. This is why it pays to have an attorney double check your eligibility before you even start. Mistake number two, missing paperwork. Every county wants something slightly different. If you leave out a document, your petition can be denied or delayed indefinitely. Number three, not notifying all the right parties. If you miss one agency, your records could survive in a back corner of a government database, and the background check could still show your arrest record. Mistake number four, not following up after the order is granted. Just because the judge signed the order doesn't mean everyone immediately erases or seals your records. Government agencies can move slowly, especially if you don't serve them with certified copies. You or your lawyer have to follow up and make sure everything is off your background and that each agency receives a certified copy of the order expungement. Here's a personal example. I had a client who tried to do her own expungement without help. She missed notifying the sheriff's office, so every time she applied for an apartment, her arrest still showed up. We fixed it, but it would have been a lot quicker if everything was done right the first time. Life after expungement, what changes and what doesn't. This is the part people get most excited about. When your expungement is granted, your old record is gone forever from public view. For jobs, apartments, and schools, you're allowed to legally say, "I've never been arrested or charged with a crime." That is a huge weight off your shoulders. Remember, though expungement isn't automatic, it is a privilege under Oklahoma law, not a right. You have to ask for it, and you have to do it the right way with the right paperwork. How fast can you really expunge your record in Oklahoma? You might be wondering, okay, but how fast is fast? In the best case scenario, you can expunge your record in as little as 60 days from the date you file the petition. Most cases take between 60 and 90 days, sometimes faster if your paperwork is perfect and there's no objections. However, it's critical to check with an attorney to make sure you don't have a waiting period to finish before you file. Also, ensuring you get the hearing date set is one of the most important ways to get that order in place. You don't have to live with the anxiety and embarrassment of a criminal record while you wait years for an answer. If your case meets the requirements and you have a lawyer who knows the ropes, the process can be surprisingly quick. That's why we call it the quick way to erase your criminal record in Oklahoma. A lot of people wait years, hoping things will change on their own. They usually tell me they'd wish they'd done it years earlier. But the folks who take action, the ones who file for expungement as soon as they're eligible, they get peace of mind now. New opportunities and a clean slate in a matter of weeks. If you're tired of your past holding you back, don't just sit on this information. Take the first step. Call an Oklahoma experienced criminal defense attorney. Most lawyers, including myself, offer free case strategy sessions to check your eligibility. The sooner you start, the sooner your record could be gone. We've talked about who qualifies, why expungement is the fastest way to erase your record, the step-by-step process, how to avoid mistakes, and what life is like after your record is cleared. This isn't just theory. This is real Oklahoma law, and it can change your life. But don't stop learning here. You need to know how to protect yourself in the future, especially if you ever get pulled over. My next video breaks down the 5 trick questions cops ask during DUI traffic stops. These are the things that trip people up and put them right back in legal trouble, even if they've just cleared their record. Don't risk making another mistake. Click over now to 5 trick questions cops ask during DUI traffic stops, so you're ready and protected the next time you see those red and blue lights in your mirror. See you over there.